Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to Server 780, also known as... Today I'm inviting everyone to come inside and take a look at Justin BadAss's Ark from the guild North Bank. So welcome to another episode of Ark'z. Now, I know a little bit about Justin. Going into this arc, I know he's an infantry main. I know he's experimented with a lot of different infantry builds. He has told me a little special gem for all of us. He's doing something that most of us only ever dream of. So I'm going to open with that because the rest of this stuff is mostly exploring the account. He's actually making a Geist Stone, or is it a Spirit Stone, or the third or fourth gemstone by combining legendary gear. So we'll get to all the other stuff later. Let's do this part now. So let's go into his items. You can tell he's got over 2,000 because I've never logged into this account before, and just this moment I logged in. Haven't had time to look around, but I'll say what's up to everyone here in a minute. Take a look at this. Oh boy, I've been saying that a lot lately. All right, so he's got a bunch of random high-level gems, but we're not interested in that. We are interested in the legendary items. See all these legendaries? So I'm doing a video right now on the guild mobilization, and during the guild mobilization, you have to make a lot of legendary gear to get the points for mobilization. And when you do that, you end up with a bunch of legendary gears after a few months. So what he has here... Whoa, what is that? Okay, that's a recipe. Don't worry, everyone calm down. What he has here, though, is a bunch of legendary gear, and you'll notice all of it has 2 available gem slots. The reason it has 2 available gem slots is because he intentionally used up one of his regular spirit stones, one of these bad boys, right? He has used all of them. Okay, so he doesn't have any more spirit stones to add second gem slots. He's burned through them all. But you'll notice he has 66 Geist Stone frags and 42 Spirit Stone frags. So he's almost there. Once you get 100, you can combine them into one gemstone that lets you add a 3rd or 4th gem. So what we'll do here is we will go back, click recycle, grab one of those items. Oh, dang. Okay, in order to do it, you have to have level 15 equipment and above. So, does he... I mean, I don't want to burn through his melange, but I think what he would have to do here is take this gear up to level 15 and then recycle it. So that's what he's been doing, taking his gear to 15, recycling it, and then getting the 2 gemstones. So if you watched my video on, melange bots, I kind of explained that. So basically, a level 30 item will give you the 4 IntelliBots and 1 minor AI. You know, and then at the level 29 item would give you 5 bots. The level 28 item would give you 4 bots and 1 of the previous to the beta IntelliBot. But the Geist Stone and Spirit frags stay the same. So because he has the extra gem in there, he's given these options. If you don't have that, you don't get the option. So all of his gear has 2 slots. I can't show it. I'll just add a little image here in the edit. But that's what he's doing with all this gear. He's taking it to level 15, putting second gemstones in it, and recycling. So that's kind of cool. We all know it's possible. Most of us have never even thought of attempting to try that because every time you recycle those items, you have to burn through one of those spirit stones, and frankly, they're expensive. You know, I use that term Spirit Stone, Geist Stone. I throw them around interchangeably. I really do need to memorize those. I'll put that on the screen too. So let's talk about Justin's ship. Well, he's a 212 million boss account on his server. So his main rival is probably, it's Flint. Mr. Flinty. That might be why the server's nickname is...
Matra de Flintstone.
I don't know if that's the real server nickname. Maybe I shouldn't have asked guild chat that. Anyway, Dio is in this guild. A lot of actually very popular players in this server. But Dio is the guy who did the Dio's Dreamcatcher video with a hoodoo. It was an amazing hoodoo death rattle video. One of the early videos from this channel. I'll maybe put a link to that at the end. If you want to see that, just search Dio's death rattle and Melt AOW. You'll find it. But yeah, not the biggest server. Flint being a 500 million power arc's a big deal. But BadAss is basically number 2. Second on the server. Okay, let's talk about, well, there's 3 major things to talk about. Research, commanders, army. I guess gear too. 4 things. And gear. So let's start with commanders. Okay, well, it looks like he is a ghillie main. Oh, 890,000 leadership. Probably a ghillie main. Yeah, I'm guessing. Whoa, look at that gear. Damage reduction, 20%. And he's running Sagittarius, Gemini, Virgo, and Andromeda. So Andromeda for the stats and tank build. Virgo also for the stats and tank build. So a little strength and weaken, but mostly reduces attack of their opponent. So she is kind of going for like a tanky balance build ghillie. Now ghillie, remember, has that 40% guaranteed hit skill like Vega's breakdown for infantry, and he's stacking titans instead of the rose weapon. So he does have the wild rose weapons, but he hasn't committed to the penetration build yet. As ghillie, he probably won't want to ever. When Satalia comes around, he may have to get rid of those titans and grab the wild roses. We'll see more on that to come as the season develops. He's running Shadow in the chest piece, hit points and defense. Great chest piece all around. Yeah, you could go with like the dodge chest piece, but frankly, he knows that everyone at his level is running guaranteed hit gems, running guaranteed hit skills. And even though he's ghillie and he ignores their gems for the first round, which gives him a good advantage, eventually they'll start using their skills. So he'll run into those Rogers and Vega guaranteed hits, those Pictor guaranteed hits, and he can't even dodge Elf, so he may as well get the stat. So I like this choice on him. Also runs the Fearless Pants, more tank ability. I like that as well. Has 0 dodge. I'm a little bit worried about the 0 dodge thing, because if I was him, I would be awakening for Crit Wither, just because he's already going kind of a tank build, and Crit Wither really goes well on an A commander like ghillie, because you're not going to keep ghillie perma awakened. I mean, you could, but not as easily as like Vega, Nekajiro, and Medusa, right? The Never Sleep commander, because they're B or less. So when he awakens, he probably just pops a few, gets to Crit Wither, and then, gets those stats there. So he is lacking a lot of dodge. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. He's a much higher level account than me, so I can't criticize too much. He does run a little bit of crit here just to make sure no one runs Crit Wither against him. I don't know if he runs enough crit. Maybe he could run a little more there. That's up to him. But let's see what else he has. Maybe he's not even a ghillie main. Looks like he's got a Maruko with level 40 Napalm Bomb and Sneak Attack. So he was probably testing out if Maruko's Sneak Attacks, Maruko's Napalm Bomb, if it had the potential to really scale up on tier 12 and high level stuff. So far, not a lot of luck with the Maruko builds. It's still a work in progress. So more 30 gear. I'll talk about account value stuff here too. We haven't done that in a minute, so let's see. Okay, for those of you that don't recall, a level 30 item is worth about $300 after you get the buy one get one melange upgrade event success for gear and all that. By the end of the day, it's about $300 to get an item to level 30. A level 40 item with all the melange and stuff costs about $1,000. Level 45 is when it really starts getting expensive. That extra 5 levels from 40 to 45 increases the cost from $1,000 to $4,000. So even on his main account, he still only has 3 pieces of 40 gear. But don't kid yourself, that's over $3,000 in just 3 pieces of gear alone. Plus the other pieces are 35 and 38. You're easily looking at $4,000 here in gear, no doubt. That's not to mention all the other gear. So 4,000 on his ghillie, and then 890,000 leadership. That's half of the max. It takes about 30,000 to get somebody to max leadership. Yeah, you got about 15,000 in leadership. There you go. Now, we all know that the real money of these accounts goes into the troops and research, so we'll get to that in a minute. He also runs a full metal. It doesn't look like it's a very serious full metal, more just something he's been playing around with. Definitely a Rogers killer for small server fights, small galactic battle fights. Penetration, a little bit of dodge, probably running tier 11 on him. Wow, that's still quite a bit of money there. Look at all that level 30 gear. There's another $1,500 in gear, easy. More level 30 gear. Jeez, another $1,500 in gear. All level 30 gear. Jesus. He spent a lot of time and money on packs and melange bots to get all this gear to level 30 so easily. Most people don't have that many level 30 pieces of gear. But it looks like he's recycled all of his loose gear. There's not a lot of just like level 15 to 30 gear that isn't used. It's all in use. So he's pretty specific with his builds. He does have an extra Fearless. He probably has that just in case an extra option for a new Hall comes along. Maybe that's why. And then he has a Rogers build. Nothing too serious here. Probably doesn't use this Rogers very much. His defensive stance is maxed out. So basically what we have here is somebody who... Yeah, his elixir is pretty well built too. Okay, so he's got a strength and weaken build. He's got an elixir, a ghillie, and a full metal. Full metal is probably not a very serious build. There might be some more commanders here. Let's take a look, see if I find anything. I'm looking for a plasma or a bullet. So it looks like all the other commanders have recently been absorbed in this last Add Leadership Success event that's going on now on the 7 Pirates' birthday. I did find his plasma, so he probably absorbed his plasma a long time ago. He probably put too much leadership into it or just wanted to suck the leadership out for his main. And he just kind of sits there with the plasma. Personally, I would get that plasma working. I'd also get that hoodoo working just to put on allies, you know, during the week. Just kind of see if you can catch somebody sending rangers and kind of get a good death rattle off. But it looks like he very specifically plays a ghillie main with 890,000 leadership. Troops. Should we do research first so we know what troops to look for? Let's do research first. Now, this is where you can really start spending money. And you could tell he's a 200 million leadership account, so he hasn't gone off the wall spending yet. So just getting to tier 12. I'm pretty sure he's a tier 12 account. It's going to cost you around $20,000 to $30,000. Easy. Easy. Not a lot of cheaper ways to do it. So let's start off with that. So it looks like his infantry accuracy is maxed, and he's ignored accuracy for airships and walkers. I'm expecting that to be a trend. Yeah. So it looks like he's ignoring walkers and airship, which is the right thing to do. He's ignored tier 10 walkers, ignored well, he did get tier 10 airships, but it looks like he stopped at 3 and 2 here, and he is just focusing on infantry, and it looks like, wow, he is getting right to it. So let's talk about that infantry research. So he maxed out infantry accuracy. He gets 100% extra accuracy there. Not that big of a deal because he runs a ghillie, but definitely worth doing. It's one of the better ones. So is HP. HP is a good one. Bonus 120% there. So his HP research is so high, his troops have double the HP of everyone else running advanced troops. People don't realize what that means. Even though he's only 900,000 leadership, his troops have twice as much HP. That's a big deal. A lot of people skimp on this research, and this is really expensive stuff, but you get double value when you start really getting it to level 9 and 10. So he's got a bunch of dodge here from level 7, which is okay. A bunch of infantry dodge here, kind of ignored, which is also okay, because this is the big one. You really want to focus hyperspace infantry. This is mastery. So all of his troop stats go from 60% to 90% on the next level. But look at those costs. 55,000 elemental crystal, whatever that is. What is that? Hyperspace? Hyperspace crystal. The other one is unlimited crystal. Oh, looks like he's ready to do his dodge. Should we do it? Yeah, we can use another 25%. That was 35,000 unlimited crystals. What was that, $2,000 worth? And then some? No, it's all right. I talked to Justin. He said I could go ahead and start that for him. Just something fun to do. But, man, did you see how many resources that was? That is insane. And obviously he's doing that because he has the crystals. This is obviously the priority. Mastery is the priority. So he's hunting that down. So we have a tier 12 infantry account with some amazing research. And he was able to do this because he kind of ignored the other ones. He really doesn't need to be a walker or airship commander. And he doesn't really use walker airship commanders anyway. So with just his ghillie main and his research, has an infantry commander. He's holding it down with the hardest hitting. Ghillie is not the hardest hitting, but she's up there. Her, Neko, Vega. They're massive one-slot bus commanders, but also in balance gear, he can hold his own. So, let's talk money. Let's see how much money he's got in these troops. Oh, we should probably cover that research cost. For the research cost for all of his... Okay, so what's the total cost of his total research here? I'm going to guesstimate this one. Less than 50,000, more than 20. I think my phone's interrupting. 30 to 45,000 is a fair guess. Check in the comments below. Someone will verify that to see exactly how close he was. Okay, shall we get into the troops? So here's the infantry. Nothing too major here. Plenty of tier 2. Nothing in tier 8, tier 9, but there it is. There's the big reveal. There's the tier 12 infantry. 11,000 tier 12 infantry. That's a lot of tier 12. He's also got 400 tier 11. That might just be for strength and weaken marches, or he might have ran out of money when he was doing upgrades for his troops. But, man, that's a lot of tier 12. Now, once we take this ghillie for a test ride, we need to figure out how much money the troops are worth per slot. Yeah. Okay. So, 2966 per slot. That's what fills up 890,000 leadership. That is just a little over half of a max leadership army, and a max leadership army costs roughly 40,000 per slot. So what does that really mean? Well, instead of being worth 40,000 per slot because he's only a little over half, we'll call these about 25,000, and that's like at the best possible way to buy the troops, just the resources and crystals. I don't even know if that factors the crystals. 20 to 25,000 per slot. So here we go. 1, 2, 3 and 80%. So almost 4 slots. So 4 half slots. Safe to say we are in about $80,000 worth of troops. Plus the airships. Ignoring the airships. $80,000 just in troops alone. You don't want to lose these troops. So, let's take those troops for a test drive, shall we? Last Viking, here we come. Alright, so we basically have a full march against this guy's full march. Last Viking has 500 airships per slot. This is almost a fair fight. We are, actually, we're about twice his size, so it's like a 450k Vega. But dang, look at that hit points. Those HP from the tear space from Gilly hit so hard. Remember, both these commanders use that to ignore defense base stat. So here's the nonviolent resistance. This should one-shot him, and he's going to force him to skip. Ooh, it doesn't one-shot, but the tears... Oh! 8 ships survive. That's actually bad for him. But now, because that 8 slots is going to take the hit. Maybe the airships will kill it off. That'll be fine. Here's a Virgo. I really like this. I gotta say, I really like this Gilly. She hits really hard. She's got a good balanced gear. There, she has plenty of damage reduction. She can really stand her own, especially against airships, especially against Vega. I mean, granted, she's twice the size, but you know, as an infantry main who's currently playing a full metal, I'm looking beyond. When I get tier 12, do I play Gilly? Do I play Nekajiro? Or do I see where the meta unfolds? And I gotta say, after doing Ark'z episode with You Lost or Soyloy and now BadAss, I'm kind of leaning towards Gilly. Very, very, wow, man, we crushed that guy. Very, very impressive. So here's one, Elevin Now Fumi. What kind of name is that? 11 Now Fumi? I don't know, man. Sorry I butchered your name. I know you're a guilty. My bad, dude. My bad. All right, let's crush through this. Let's go. BadAss versus Elevin Now Fumi. Oh, it's a Walker commander. Oh, this could be a problem. This could be a problem. Oh, curse, tear space, and it's Walker. Non-violent resistance. So he won't have gems first time around, but he does have that heal going. That will be a problem for Gilly. We're going to need to one-shot him and not let that heal come through. Oh. All right, so he's not hitting us too hard, but it's really what we're really afraid of is that curse. All right. Non-violent resistance is not hitting hard enough. So these players, these modern tier 12 accounts are really stacking HP. They know to ignore defense. Gilly ignores defense, not HP. So even when she triggers non-violent resistance, she still has to break through a ton of hit points. Man, that elf heal is crazy. Elf is a good counter to Gilly. She's like the ideal counter. Elf in an HP build is the perfect counter to Gilly. I mean, Rogers is always going to do well, but Elf is the way to go. And she doesn't have enough to want to bust him down. To bust her down, excuse me. So even though this Elf is smaller than us, she's still giving us a lot of trouble. And she really only has 4 full slots. We have 5, not even. We have some half slots too. It's actually somewhat fair. Those tier 12 infantry aren't doing much for her. She's about to lose them right now. That Awakening's going to crush them. Ooh, wow, a lot of them lived. But look at that elf heal. This is actually going to be a really long replay, so I'm going to have to fast forward it. Place your bets on who's going to win. And place your bets on the commander that's coming out of the warp gate at the end of this video. Okay, we're going to fast forward it. I'm pretty sure we're going to lose this thing. We just don't hit hard enough to kill this elf. And this Andromeda doesn't trigger enough. The Virgo is helping really soften her up, but her curse is just going to wear us down over time, and she's just going to keep healing through our damage. So it's going to get easier for her as the battle goes on, and we didn't kill her in the first 5 rounds. So my guess is Elf wins. Who's coming out of that warp gate? Oh, we won! Wow, we broke through. That's amazing. I was wrong. We're going to cut that out. Just edit that out. No, we're not. No, that's staying in. That's staying in. I think I had good reasoning, but man, awesome. Okay. We really got to figure out how to pronounce that guy's name.
L11 now Fumi.
What's best gear to run on a bullet for galactic battle? I'm asking the real questions. We don't need none of that. Ooh, there's a guild mail. Hey guys, just a heads up. Melt will be on my account doing an hour-long episode of Ark'z. You know, for the super awesome elite players. Oh, look at this guy. Jeez. Would say be respectful, but I'm not going to push that kind of nonsense, so don't be afraid to say hello and interact with them. Anything said in guild chat will be forever. And no wonder these guys are going nuts in guild chat. Why does everyone hate Flint so much? He seems like a nice guy. Okay, so that's BadAss's arc. Not bad. I didn't go through all the other minor details, the gem percents and stuff. He's got all the major arcs. And listen, it's a tier 12 super account. Total account value, that's what really everyone wants to know. Let's break out this shiny animation, right? From server 780. Thank you, everyone, for joining me on this episode of Ark'z. Thanks to N0R, North Bank, and this wonderful, terrible guild chat. Shout out to Spartanuts, my oldest outside friend that was the one who kind of got me into the line chat thing. He showed up here. And my left and right nut. Thanks, guys. What would I do without you? This video's done. Let's get on to the next episode. If you want your own episode of Ark'z, check out the Patreon. If you don't want to be on Ark'z, you just want to do a Pimp My Arc, we have that too. And if you're watching this and you're not a member of the line community, you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Join the line community. There's a lot to this game you're missing out on, and it's only getting better. That was such a wholesome ending. See ya!